Hey everybody, Nick Espinoza, your chief security fanatic here, and it is Sunday, so we are doing breaches of the week. But I am traveling at the moment, so we're going to do one very special breach that I recorded a couple of days ago. And the reason why we're doing this one is because I think this is going to absolutely blow up and get increasingly worse. We are talking about what I actually talked about the week prior with Ticketmaster and Live Nation, the cloud storage company known as Snowflake. Now, here's what's going on. Because a hack against customers of Snowflake looks like it may turn into one of the biggest data breaches ever. Last week, as I mentioned, Snowflake, which allows companies to store huge data sets on their servers, revealed that criminal attackers had been attempting to access their customers' accounts using stolen login details. As I mentioned in the past couple of weeks, both Ticketmaster and the massive bank giant around the world, Santander, both basically linked themselves to this attack. We're talking hundreds of millions of people combined caught up in both of those data breaches. Now, in the days since Snowflake first said a quote-unquote limited number of customer accounts had been accessed, criminals have been publicly claiming to have been selling stolen data from other major firms alleged to have information stored within Snowflake's infrastructure. Now, at the same time, TechCrunch reported that hundreds of Snowflake customer passwords had been found online and were accessible to these criminal attackers. Now, amid the claims, there remains uncertainty about the scope and scale of this attack against Snowflake customers. And again, because I am traveling, we may have a lot more information as I am sitting here recording this on Friday, June 7th. So we don't know who those attackers are going to be, and they're using an attack tool known simply as RapeFlake. That's great. And we're not necessarily sure how that operates. So on top of this, it's also highlighting the growth basically in the use of InfoStealer malware in recent years, and underscores the need for third-party software providers and companies to turn on things like multi-factor authentication, identity access management, all that kind of stuff to reduce the chances of accounts being compromised. Now, a large portion of the Snowflake drama has so far played out on breach forums. This is the notorious marketplace where a lot of data is essentially brokered. So the FBI seized the forum back in mid-May, but another version quickly reappeared, same as they shut down Lockbit. Now we're on Lockbit 3.0, etc., etc. And the owners of breach forums, a group known as Shiny Hunters, claim to be selling 560 million records from Ticketmaster and 30 million from Santander, those I mentioned earlier. Now, both companies have said that they have suffered from data breaches, with Ticketmaster directly linking the incident to Snowflake, while Santander said it had unauthorized access on one of its databases, quote, hosted by a third-party provider, end quote. Neither company has confirmed the size of the breach. This is what's being reported, as I mentioned, by Shiny Hunters, that group. Now, in recent days, a breach forum account going by Spider, spelled out in LeetSpeak, had posted two more companies whose data the claims basically that Snowflake was storing. First was automotive giant Advance Auto Parts. I think I've got like 3 of them within 10 miles of my house. And Spider claims to have 380 million customer details. And financial services company LendingTree, I've seen their commercials, as well as their subsidiary Quote Wizard, from which they are now claiming they have data linked to 190 million people. So if you're using Advance Auto Parts for all your automotive parts needs, or LendingTree for your lending needs, you might want to check in. So some Advance Auto Parts staff and customer email addresses listed in the sample data by the attacker appear to be legitimate. This is email that Wired, who I'm cribbing from here, sent to those email addresses and did not bounce or were otherwise rejected. Bleeping Computer reported that they had verified data from Advance Auto Parts as well. Quote, we are aware of reports that Advance may be involved in a security incident related to Snowflake. That's according to Daryl Carr, a spokesperson for the company, talking to Wired. Quote, we are investigating the matter and do not have further information to share at this time. We have not experienced an impact in operations to our systems, end quote. And I hope not. LendingTree, on the other hand, has not responded to multiple requests from Wired or other outlets about the alleged breaches sent in the past few days. Neither LendingTree nor Advance Auto Parts has filed breach notifications with the SEC, known as an 8K filing. And at the time that I'm talking to you about this, both of them have been listed as Snowflake customers previously. So we're going to see where that goes. Now, since Snowflake has acknowledged that accounts have been targeted, it has provided some more information about the incident since I last talked to you a week ago about this. Brad Jones, who is the Chief Information Security Officer of Snowflake, said in a blog post that threat actors used login details to accounts that had been, quote, purchased or obtained through info stealing malware, end quote, which obviously is designed to grab usernames and passwords from devices that have been compromised. Now, the incident appears to be a, quote, targeted campaign directed at users with single factor authentication, end quote. All the more reason for all of us to have good identity access management with multi-factor authentication, ideally adaptive and contextual MFA as well. Now, Jones also said in his post that Snowflake, alongside security companies CrowdStrike and Mandiant, now owned by Google, which basically they employed to investigate this, did not find evidence that the attack was, quote, caused by compromised credentials of current or former Snowflake personnel. In other words, Snowflake is saying, hey, we hired CrowdStrike and Mandiant. Y'all know who they are. They're good at their jobs. They're saying it's not us. However, it has found that one former employee's demo account was accessed, claiming they did not contain sensitive data. I mentioned that last week. Now, when asked about potential breaches of specific companies, a Snowflake representative pointed to Jones's statement, quote, we have not identified evidence suggesting that this activity was caused by a vulnerability, misconfiguration, or breach of Snowflake's platform, end quote. And that was also reiterated, or rather I reiterated that last week because that was Snowflake's statement then, and we are about a week out from that as I'm talking to you here. Now, CISA, the U.S. Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, issued an alert about this incident. Australia's Cybersecurity Center also said, quote, they're aware of successful compromises of several companies utilizing Snowflake environments, end quote. Now, little is known about this spider account on breach forums that is advertising Advance Auto Parts and LendingTree, and it's not clear whether Shiny Hunters obtained the data or if they got it from another source and they're just brokering this information. So we're going to see where this goes. But this obviously is a huge issue, and if it's a password spraying account, this is the same thing 23andMe said. We didn't get breached, but y'all are logging in and using the same username and password you use for Netflix or some other place that got breached, and so it's not us, it's you. This is an unfolding situation, and if Snowflake is basically catering to these massive corporations, I mean, Ticketmaster, my God, we're all probably caught up in that one, not to mention LendingTree, Advance Auto Parts, Santander, which is a huge bank around the globe. This is obviously a very serious issue. So, you know I'm going to keep you up to date. That is your breach that obviously is breaches actually in and of itself of the week, but we may be shaping up to have another Blackbot, another SolarWinds on our hands. We're just not sure yet. Snowflake says, no, it's not us, it's you. We're going to see who's right in the coming weeks. I have no doubt of that. And with that, you know I'll keep you informed here on Breaches. Until next time. And please like, share, follow me here on Facebook and Twitter at NickAESP. And please feel free to subscribe to me at YouTube as well. And as always, stay safe, stay online, and please, attempt to stay private. Thanks, everybody.